Hello and welcome to Growing Through Connection, a podcast that explores the life-changing impact of emotionally focused therapy. Join us as we discover how EFT helps create and secure lasting connections, leading to more fulfilling lives. In this special first season, we offer a series of short conversations with the late Dr. Sue Johnson, the pioneering visionary behind EFT. Sue shares her personal journey, reflects on the evolution of her work, and offers powerful insights into the science of emotional connection. So settle in and enjoy this unique opportunity to get to know Sue while discovering how EFT can deepen your relationships and enrich your life in ways you never imagined.
Sue, tell me a bit about who's been your greatest mentor or inspiration in your personal career.
My clients. I learned EFT from my clients, from observing my clients, listening to them, picking up the patterns, the way they dealt with emotion and with each other. So watching my sessions, which I still do, sometimes therapists say, how can I grow? I say, watch your sessions. Take them and watch them. Nobody wants to do that. It's like, because when I used to dance Argentine tango, I used to have this fantasy that I was being elegant and my legs were out behind me and my teacher would stop and say, stop, look in the mirror. No, I don't want to, and then I look in the mirror and my legs aren't elegant out. In fact, I look like a wounded duck. My leg is in the air, twisted. And he says, see what I mean? I go, oh God. So none of us want to look at what we do, but if you want to know what you do and understand what you do, you look at what you do. So watching tapes, my biggest inspiration has been my clients. They've taught me everything. On the other hand, what's interesting is I really respect Irving Yalom as a mentor and therapist. He's rather insight-orientated for me, but I respect him. But I think if we go on a professional level, my inspiration has been the attachment scientists, specifically the social research attachment scientists, Phil Shaver and Mario Mikulincer, who have struggled with making adult attachment available and clear, putting it out into the world for professionals, and who've supported me and, they have been inspirational for me. There were some conferences years ago where I would show up and I'd be horrified to realize that I was with all these social researchers, social scientists, and they were all attachment theorists, and I was the only clinician. And then at some point, they would be bound to turn to me and say, Sue, would you kindly translate everything that we're saying into clinical intervention? You go, oh my God, But you'd say, okay, trying. I read a book a couple of years ago, and it basically said, but they have been my inspiration. I have huge respect for them because they and I, in their field and in the clinical field, bucked the traditional way of thinking, which was that strength was about self-reliance and the adult strength was about just being able to count on you, separate from everyone else, be differentiated. So many theorists still write about that. It's naughty because it's nonsense. We're not. That's not who we are as human beings. Your nervous system is designed to respond to and be connected with my nervous system. That's how we can read each other's faces and intuit each other's emotions, and that's who we are. And strength is not about invulnerability, no matter how many movies they make with Rambo, and it's not about invulnerability and being all by yourself and able to take on the world. That's nonsense. Strength is about accepting your vulnerability and being able to reach for other people. And sometimes we don't do that in person. We reach for other people in our mind. I'm blown away, even as an attachment scientist. I'm blown away that the things I know are true of me. I know they're true of my clients. But even now I am amazed to find that I can hear my father's voice in my head. And years ago, I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and the whole ship was doing this. And I was going to North America and where I didn't know anybody, I had a wooden trunk, down in the cabin. And I suddenly thought, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm on a boat in the middle of the ocean and I should now have a nervous breakdown. This little bird landed on the deck and sort of went, and I thought, yeah, I'm with you. That's both. You have a birdie nervous breakdown, I'll have a Susie nervous breakdown. But then I heard my father's voice and he said, Sue, you know what to do. When the world gets scary, sweetie, you're strong. You can deal with this. Is what I always told me. You can deal with it. You stand with your feet apart. You feel the ground underneath your feet. You look at the horizon and you listen to me. And you can do this. And if you really are overwhelmed and you can't deal with North America, I'll find a way to bring you home, which is called nonsense because he had no money to bring me home, okay? On a rational level, it's all nonsense and woo-woo. But I stood on that deck and everything changed. And the little bird flew off and I came to North America and created a new life. And, you internalize these key people in your lives. They become part of who you are, your identity. When I received the Order of Canada, which is the biggest honor I've ever received, there is no honor that my profession could ever give me that would even touch. I cried for a week when I found out that I got the Order of Canada. I sat and cried for a week. It's only given to 100 people a year, and it's given not just for achievement, but to people who have made the community of Canada better. And when I received that award, I was totally dissociated. I don't know who walked up to that podium. I don't think it was me. I don't remember anything. And I had my family there, and they were terribly important. But what was important was my father's voice. Yeah. And he said, well done, sweetie. And that was the voice that, I think we all, if we're lucky and we've had secure attachment, we all have those voices. I have my granny's voice. She was English working class. Part of English working class is you make fun of everything. You're irreverent about everything. It's just part of your culture. You make fun of God, religion, politics, every sacred idea anyone has, you make fun of it. That's part of the English way of dealing with things, right? And my granny, sometimes if I'm all caught up in things, I hear my granny going, saying, it doesn't really matter, does it? Have a cup of tea. Would you like some toast? And you go, oh, right then. Yeah. Yeah, okay, jolly good. This is a sort of weird English version of meditation. These voices from your own past and the people you're with who teach you about being human, they're all inspirational, and so are my clients. And there's been a few real outstanding people, like the attachment researchers who have given us a map.
Thank you for joining us on Growing Through Connection. As we conclude, remember that connection is at the heart of human experience. Keep exploring, keep connecting, and we'll see you next time on Growing Through Connection. This podcast is a production of Sue Johnson. Learn more about EFT at drsuejohnson.com and at the International Center for Excellence in Emotionally Focused Therapy site at iceft.com. To find a qualified emotionally focused therapist in your area, visit iceft.com and click on our Find an EFT Therapist directory. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a 5-star rating and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, stay connected.